Welcome back to a new video. This is my training from Sunday. I started out with some muscle snatches, did some doubles in the snatch, some power clean and push press, where I ended up with 110, did a back squat triple up to 170, and then a pull triple at 170. Not a ton of volume, just because I wasn't really feeling it in this session. I mostly was treating the session as a way to just simply practice for the next session, but also just to move around and to just try to feel better, because I was still sore from the previous day and really the previous 2 days, because I went very hard on that Friday and on Saturday as well. But I was feeling pretty decent on this day. As you saw, I missed the 90 muscle snatch. I dropped back down to 85 and hit that. I'm finding that 85 is like a pretty routine muscle snatch weight where it's heavy, but it's one that I can pretty confidently do just about every day, and basically every time I've tried it up until this current day that I'm recording this commentary, I've been able to do with relative ease. But these are the snatch doubles, and they were not really that difficult. They went well until I got to 105, and then I missed that. One of the things I was noticing with the pull-list programming, one of the things that is an aspect of it, I should say, is like 80% triples, and 80% based on a 130 snatch, which is kind of like my training max that I'm using to kind of, try to work towards as like, my 1 rep max, I suppose. Just like with the clean jerks, I'm kind of treating 160 as that. It says my 80% is like 105, which is a really nice number as far as loading purposes, and it's actually a pretty good number because it's not just 100, it's a little bit more than that, and it's not quite 110 because that's, like 85% or whatever. And I obviously don't really stick to strict percentages in training, because I don't find that to be the most useful thing to do, because day to day things change quite a lot, and you can always push harder, or on different days not be able to push as hard as you would like to. But it's good to kind of have those benchmarks from like, all right, I could be able to get up to 180. And I think on their program it's like 180, or 80% for triples. It's like 5 sets of 3, and that does not sound very fun. But doing some doubles is a challenge and something that I would like to get better at, and really just in kind of all the lifts. And you'll see the push presses, like doing some reps on those I think will be good as well. And this is another aspect of it that I've kind of used from it too, is if you do a session that's a little bit harder in the snatches, to do a session that's a little bit easier in the clean jerks. And theoretically, it'd alternate, but for me, it's always kind of better just to be more aggressive with the snatches as far as, the training volume and the intensity with it, and kind of just vary what I do with the clean jerks, because they tend to be more consistent. But there's also more variety of things, like how I'm doing push presses here. I could have a really light day where I just do overhead press, or I could do like double jerks. Like there's a lot easier variations with it that I don't have as much on the snatch, because for me it's like the technique is what I'm really trying to focus on. Obviously there's a lot of variations in the snatch, but what I mean is like easy variations like this in the clean jerk, where it's really far away from the main lift and it's not really that difficult to do mentally. I was thinking about doing the 5 sets of 3 in the back squat, but I pushed those off until the next day, which you'll see the Monday session is a monster session. I did everything in that one, so it was a good decision to kind of push everything off until that day. But everything felt pretty decent. You notice, it's probably kind of hard to see in the video actually, the black knee wraps I have on, they are the new ones from Hook Grip, the squat wraps, and they are definitely a different level than the regular ones that they had before. So it's one that I would use for cleans and clean jerks and squats, but certainly wouldn't want to have them on for snatches, and they do get pretty tight. So I'm not really sold on them entirely of how useful they are, but they certainly are much tighter. I don't obviously have a comparison of like powerlifter knee wraps or anything like that, because I've only used wraps like in this style, but they certainly get much tighter than the other ones, and they are much more spandex, or not really spandex, but just a lot less cloth and a lot more plasticky type material, if that makes sense. Maybe not, but I did this session, like I said, with some pulls up to 170. And something that I think would be good for me is just to focus on lighter pulls in general. Of course, I'll say that, and you'll see the next video where I go to like a super max deadlift, but it'll be better for me to have a lot of sessions where I'm doing a 5x3 pull, or just doing lighter pulls and focusing on a weight here that I can clean theoretically, but a one that I need to continue to hammer the positions there, and not just max pulling strength. Although I can't really give in to that temptation, or I can't really get away from that temptation, because it is very fun to do. But this was my Sunday session, a pretty quick and easy one, and it was a pretty chilly one, hence the blue sweatshirt on for that whole session, but a productive day nevertheless. I'm also going to go back to having some text in my thumbnails, theoretically. A lot of that I went away from it just from laziness and from YouTube not really being able to upload my thumbnails very easily, but I'll try to get back to that and have some text in those, and won't really change the videos, I don't think, but just kind of an experiment to see if views and stuff like that are positively impacted by that. But anywho, enough rambling, and that's it for this one. I'll talk to you in the next video, and look forward to that monster session. I'm going to try to get some of the shorts up, so you might see a little preview of that before the full video comes out, but oh Lord, I did everything in that session. But anywho, until next time, peace.